all of that, plus, you know, we've got 6 servos in each arm, 2 in the neck, the waist servo, which draws a lot of power, another one here, both motors. I mean, it all adds up pretty quick. Power and energy on any machine becomes, I don't know, it gets hard to work with, I guess. So he does run, give or take, an hour and a quarter on his battery pack. Some of the things I've done, like turning things on and off, I'm hoping will extend that quite a bit. Something we haven't talked about yet. Let's see. Okay, so we have his balancing, which is done via this in here. We didn't really point at this when we were in here. That's a MPU. It's got a 3-axis accelerometer and a 3-axis gyroscope in it. I'm going to set you back down for a minute here. And that allows us to determine whether he's leaning forward, leaning backwards. Sorry about that. I had to pick him back up. And that allows him to balance. His head will tilt with it when he balances. If you tip him forward, it can keep his head level. And that's actually set with a variable flag, so I can turn that feature on and off, which can allow him also to lean back and look up, which is kind of cool. Back around to the back here. This is his actual power button. This is what we click to turn him on. He has an antenna. It's not really used for anything at the moment. It used to connect right here. I've got to move this bracket. Why does he have an antenna? Well, because antennas are cool. It's not a robot without an antenna, right? No. I used to use an NRF 24L01 or whatever the hell they're called radio package with him, and that allowed me to communicate with a handheld device, manual commands in the early days of prototyping with him, and that was all kind of fun. He's got 32K EEPROM on the I2C bus as well for additional non-volatile storage of software. Right now he uses maybe 2 or 3K of that to store a few different things, not a whole lot. One of the other projects I did was the handheld, and you can see that in another video. That was done widely to learn how to code for the EEPROM and how to make use of it best. See, I think we went over the GPS. In here is the text-to-speech board we built. That's an Arduino Nano. I have a cut in the thing here so I can plug in a programming cable to update it. That also controls the new serial MP3 player, and then on the inside there, on the same board, you'll also see the real-time clock that we have installed. And he's got a little battery in there to keep it alive. See if I can, yeah, there it is. And that's how you can tell time. Deep inside the middle of his head, it's kind of hard to see. That's an ESP cam that I've soldered various things to and modified in various ways. It's, well, here, I'll show you. It's one of these. I buy a lot of components in bulk. I'll buy 2, 3, or 4 of them instead of just one. So if I burn something out, I got a spare, but it's one of these. That's what I use for his vision. It's just a ESP32S. It's a ESP cam. You can get them on Amazon. They're cheap. And I bought another camera module for it that has a much longer cable. So that's installed up inside his head here. That's the camera module. And that, you know, I never could get I2C to work with this. I tried and I tried and I tried, and I could not figure it out. So I ended up using it as a serial device. This has its own serial wombat attached to it for communicating with it. The Compass is also a serial device. It has its own serial wombat attached to it, which essentially turns both of those into I2C devices at that point. The Compass also has an I2C compass. I mean, the GPS also has a compass in it, and that's I2C, which is really annoying because they already had an I2C device on board with the Compass. They really should have made them both work for either one, I guess, but oh well, we made it work. See, that's just another power regulator. This was a board for a breadboard, and I used it because I didn't have any regulators on hand at the time. A lot of R&D is usually, you know, you need a component and everything's locked or everything's 2 weeks out on shipping, so you kind of look around your bench and you're like, well, I got one of these. So you do it. That's our audio amplifier. I showed that off recently too. That drives his speaker for his sound. So I think we have gone over all of his mechanical tidbits at this point. So yeah, let's turn him on, huh? I did tell everybody we'd do a little demonstration. I'm going to pause the video at this point to keep upload size down. I'm plugging him in right now. And then we'll do another one and I'll show him running.